Everyone is building AI agents these days. You open Twitter and you will see that someone has made an AI that writes code, books flights, and manage your emails, even runs a business. But here is the catch. 90% of these are not real AI agents. They are just wrappers around ChatGPT, fancy demos that collapse in real world use. And if you are wondering, should I also start building AI agent or am I even ready to build one? So this video will clear that once and for all. Because today we will talk about what you must know before even thinking of building your first AI agent, the tech, the mindset, and the project that will prepare you for the real game. I know that it's a trend and you must be very eager to build your first AI agent, but hype does not create the real things, only the foundations will. Right now, AI agents are like crypto in 2021. Everyone is doing something, few actually understand it. Building a production grade agent means building something that can handle real world data, make reliable decisions, recover from errors, and scale. That needs more than just ChatGPT plus API. It needs understanding. So if you directly jump into frameworks like LangChain or AutoGen without knowing why your model behaves in a certain way, you will just end up connecting wires without knowing what current is flowing. First of all, let me brief you about the AI agent. What is it actually? In the simplest terms, an AI agent is a system that can observe, reason, and act towards the goal. Unlike ChatGPT, which only chats, an AI agent takes actions. It can call APIs, search Google, send emails, write and run code autonomously. Think of ChatGPT as your personal assistant. It talks, but an AI agent is your employee. It plans, executes, and reports back. So if you want to build one, you need to train not just your model, but your mind to think like an AI system architect. Now let's talk about what you must know before building. First, get your foundations right. Before you touch any fancy AI framework, your foundation must be rock solid because AI agents are built on top of all the core AI and ML concepts. So what do you need here? First is Python at an intermediate level, not even the basic. You must be comfortable with functions, classes, data structure, and basic OOPs. Why? Because framework like LangChain or LangGraph use object-based architecture. If you cannot read or modify classes, you will get stuck instantly. Next is NumPys and Pandas. Agents constantly deal with structured and unstructured data. So if you can't process and clean data, your agent will fail to interpret correctly. Next is statistics and linear algebra. You don't need to derive formulas, but you must know what vector embeddings are, why models represent words as numbers, and how similarity works. Because agents use embeddings to find relevant information and context. Machine learning basics. Know what training, inference, overfitting, and evaluations mean. Why? Because if your agent uses a fine-tuned model or a custom classifier, you must know what is happening behind the scenes. Just for an example, I can tell that you can't drive a Tesla if you don't even know what acceleration or braking means. Same with AI. You must understand the mechanics before automation. After Python, next is learn APIs. AI agents act using APIs. If they can move physically, so APIs are their arms and legs. You must understand how data travels between client and server. You need to know what is a GET versus POST request, what is JSON, how headers and keys work, how to connect external tools like Gmail, Notion, Slack, or your local database. If you understand APIs, you can make your agent interact with the world. That is where the real power lies. Third is understand large language models, the brain of every agent. This is the most important part. Your AI agent's brain is always a large language model. That is GPT, Claude, Gemini, Llama, whatever. But LLMs are not magical. They are predictive text machines. They predict the next best word based on patterns. I have already created a video where I explain how the ChatGPT works. If you want, you can go to that and see how LLMs work. So what should you learn from that? You need to learn how prompting works, like zero shot, few shot, chain of thought. What are tokens and context windows? What embeddings are and how they store meaning. Fine tuning versus RAG. How agents fetch external information. Then basic architecture of a transformer. Just surface level understanding will be enough. I'm also planning to start a video series for LLMs where we will cover all things from basics to advanced in LLMs for your interviews, understanding, and building projects. And of course, AI agents. So you don't need to read 30 research papers. You just need to understand why GPT does what it does because your agent will depend on it. Just for example, if you tell your agent to summarize 100 pages and it forgets midway, that is a context length issue, not a bug. Knowing this saves you weeks. Now, the next is do 3 mini projects before your first AI agent. So, before you even touch frameworks like LangChain or LangGraph or build your first AI agent, build these 3 projects. They will prepare your brain to think in systems. First is chatbot using OpenAI API. Here the stack could be the Python, OpenAI API, plus you can use any deployment platform like Streamlit. Here you will learn prompting, API handling, data parsing. So this will teach you how LLMs interact with user input and return structured data. Second project you can build is file summarizer or Q&A bot. Here you can use the stake means LangChain plus ChromaDB or any vector databases like Fires. Here the learning would be the embeddings, document loading and retrieval. So this gives you a real feel of rack systems, foundation for memory based agents. Third project you can build is automation tool. It can be built using NA10 plus Python API. Example, when an email arrives, you can summarize it, send Slack message based on that. Here the learning would be event triggers, real world APIs and automation flow. So this will build the mindset of input, reasoning, action, the exact agent architecture. Once you can connect data, reasoning and action, congratulations, you are 80% ready to build your first AI agent. So now let us summarize what you need under your belt before building your first real AI agent. Python, APIs, then ML and DL basics, LLM concepts, then LangChain and LangGraph, then vector databases, and then front end. Once you know this flow, you can build anything from a research bot to a personal AI secretary. So the most common mistakes people do is skipping these steps. They start with LangChain without knowing what a token embedding is. And the result is the broken agent, failed pipelines, and hours wasted debugging without understanding. So when are you actually ready to build your first AI agent? If you can build a chatbot automation, an API flow, and understand how data move through an LLM, you are ready. But if you are still asking which framework is the best, you are not ready yet. So before joining the AI agent gold rush, step back and prepare. Don't be the one who builds fast, be the one who builds right. So if you want me to make a video on the full AI agent learning roadmap, comment roadmap below in the comment section and subscribe Concepts of AI for more real, clear, no hype AI insights.